Chapter 4: States of Consciousness. One of the most fascinating mysteries in psychology is consciousness, our awareness of ourselves and the world around us. Consciousness feels so familiar and personal, yet when we try to define it scientifically, it becomes slippery. In this chapter, we'll explore what consciousness is, why sleep matters, how sleep is structured, what happens when it goes wrong, and how humans deliberately alter consciousness through meditation, hypnosis, and psychoactive drugs. What is consciousness? Consciousness can be defined as awareness of internal and external stimuli. It includes the sensations and events happening around us, as well as the thoughts, feelings, and bodily processes happening within us. But consciousness is not a single on-off switch. It exists along a continuum of awareness. At one end is full wakefulness, when we are alert and actively engaged. At the other end is deep sleep, where awareness is minimal. In between are altered states like daydreaming, hypnosis, intoxication, and dreaming. The psychologist William James described consciousness as a stream, a constant flowing movement of ideas, sensations, and perceptions. From an evolutionary perspective, consciousness is adaptive. It allows us to plan, reflect, integrate information, and respond flexibly rather than simply acting on reflex. Without it, life would be a series of automatic reactions, not thoughtful choices. Sleep and why we sleep. Perhaps the most dramatic shift in consciousness happens every night when we fall asleep. For centuries, people thought of sleep as a kind of shutdown, but research shows that sleep is an active biological process, essential for both body and mind. Sleep is guided by biological rhythms, especially the circadian rhythm, our 24-hour internal clock, regulated by the brain's suprachiasmatic nucleus. Light plays a crucial role here. As darkness falls, the pineal gland releases melatonin, making us drowsy. When circadian rhythms are disrupted by jet lag, night shifts, or late-night screen time, our sleep quality suffers. But why do we sleep? Several theories offer answers. The restorative theory suggests that sleep allows the body to repair tissues and restore energy. The evolutionary theory argues that sleep evolved as protection, keeping us inactive during dangerous hours. The cognitive theory highlights sleep's role in learning and memory, showing that people who sleep after studying remember information better than those who stay awake. In short, sleep is not wasted time. It is essential for survival, growth, and mental clarity. Stages of sleep. Sleep is not one uniform state. It is structured into cycles that repeat throughout the night. During non-rapid eye movement, NREM sleep, we pass through 3 stages. Stage 1 is the lightest sleep, a transition from wakefulness marked by drifting thoughts or sudden muscle jerks. Stage 2 brings deeper relaxation, with unique brain patterns called sleep spindles and K-complexes. Stage 3, or slow wave sleep, is the deepest stage, dominated by delta waves. This is the most restorative sleep, essential for healing and immune function. After NREM comes rapid eye movement, REM sleep. Here the brain is highly active, almost as if awake, and vivid dreaming takes place. The body's major muscles are paralyzed, preventing us from acting out those dreams. REM sleep is especially important for memory, learning, and emotional balance. A typical night involves several 90-minute cycles of NREM and REM. Early in the night, deep NREM dominates. Later, REM periods become longer. Sleep, then, is a rhythmic, dynamic process, far from passive. Sleep problems. Despite its importance, many people struggle with sleep disorders. Insomnia is the most common, with difficulty falling or staying asleep. It can leave people fatigued, irritable, and less able to concentrate. Treatment often combines behavioral changes with, in some cases, medication. Sleep apnea involves repeated pauses in breathing during sleep, often with loud snoring and sudden awakenings. Because rest is interrupted, sufferers feel exhausted during the day. Treatment may involve CPAP machines, lifestyle changes, or surgery. Narcolepsy causes sudden, uncontrollable sleep attacks, sometimes accompanied by cataplexy, a sudden loss of muscle tone. It is a serious condition, disrupting daily life and safety. Parasomnias are unusual behaviors during sleep, such as sleepwalking, night terrors, or REM sleep behavior disorder, in which people physically act out their dreams. These disorders remind us that sleep is both vital and vulnerable. Other states of consciousness beyond sleep, people also experience altered states of consciousness in other ways. Hypnosis is one such state. Under hypnosis, a person remains aware, but enters a state of focused attention and increased suggestibility. Contrary to Hollywood myths, hypnosis is not mind control. It cannot make people do things against their will. However, it has therapeutic uses, such as reducing pain or helping people manage phobias and bad habits. Meditation is another deliberate way to alter consciousness. It involves focusing attention and eliminating distractions. Research shows that meditation reduces stress, improves attention, enhances emotional regulation, and can even change the brain's structure, strengthening regions tied to empathy and self-control. Both hypnosis and meditation show us that consciousness is flexible and can be shaped in ways that improve well-being. Drugs and consciousness. Humans have also long used substances to change consciousness. Psychoactive drugs act on the brain to alter perception, mood, and behavior. They fall into four major categories. Depressants, like alcohol and barbiturates, slow nervous system activity, producing relaxation but impairing judgment and coordination. Stimulants, such as caffeine, nicotine, and cocaine, increase alertness and energy, but may also cause anxiety and addiction. Opioids, including heroin, morphine, and prescription painkillers, provide powerful pain relief and euphoria, but carry extreme risk of dependence and overdose. Hallucinogens, like LSD and psilocybin, distort perception and create sensory experiences that are not real. Drug use can lead to tolerance, needing more for the same effect, withdrawal symptoms, and addiction, now understood as a brain disorder rather than simply a lack of willpower. Psychoactive drugs remind us that consciousness is highly sensitive to chemical changes in the brain. Closing thoughts. Chapter 4 shows us that consciousness is not a fixed state, but a dynamic spectrum. Each day, we cycle between alertness, drowsiness, and sleep. Within sleep, our brains shift through precise stages, balancing restoration and dreaming. Consciousness can be disrupted by sleep disorders or deliberately altered through meditation, hypnosis, or drugs. Understanding consciousness means understanding not only what it is to be awake and aware, but also how fragile and flexible that awareness can be. Consciousness is one of psychology's greatest mysteries. It is the essence of being human, and yet it remains only partially understood.